Yeah, let's do it. Everybody, John over at The Record Rack. I guess it used to be called John's Record Rack, but I didn't like that. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, you and I have been talking about this for probably 6 months, just realizing that all these records, these albums that we loved. I mean, you and I were in high school. I know there's some people in the vinyl community that are older, right? They probably wouldn't like 91. To me, it was like one of the final years where you had all these different kinds of hard rock and metal still on the charts, right? Everyone's like, oh, grunge came out and everything was dead as soon as they came out, which is not true, right? There was tons of bands still playing metal, doing very well. I mean, Metallica, obviously, Megadeth, Slayer. I mean, you name it. They're Pantera. So, but for us, I mean, I was in high school. I know you're like 2 years older than me. So you were what?
I was a freshman, going into my freshman year.
Oh, okay. So I guess I would have been eighth grade then for 91, eighth grade. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of these records, I mean, this is you're kind of coming into your own, right? You're a teenager. You're kind of past that first 13-year-old awkwardness. And it's like, this is my music, right? Before it was, pop stuff or catch something on MTV or whatever your parents listened to, right? Kid stuff. But then when I felt like this was my music, when Metallica's Black Album came out, I went to my local record store, which still exists, by the way, Black and Red, different spot. And I waited in line to get the tape, right? With my friends. We rode our bikes down there and waited in line to get the Black. And we were just like through the roof. But I mean, those things don't happen anymore, right? You have every single thing that you ever wanted on music at your fingertips, obviously with the internet. But back then, that's what we did. And that's where I felt like I had music that was my own, that wasn't like an older next door neighbor or a friend's older brother, because of course I loved all the metal stuff, but some of the earlier stuff, I never connected with. Like I never connected with Quiet Riot and some of that stuff, right? Probably just because I was too young. But once we get to 91, it's like, yeah, this is mine. My parents hate it, so I know it's good. I did not get this album in 91, but I did get it in 92 or 93. So Bad Motorfinger, Soundgarden. This was their second major label release for A&M and their third full length. They had 2 EPs and 2 records before this one, before Bad Motorfinger. I mean, what can I say? Soundgarden, along with Allison Chains, they were one of those Seattle bands that, like diehard metal folks like you and me and people who only liked metal back then, they liked Soundgarden because to them, even to me, they're a metal band, especially with this album in particular. I mean, it's a heavy album, excellent playing. I mean, the musicianship and the weird time signatures, nobody can copy that sound. It's impossible when you have Chris, right? And then you have this really tight, well-oiled machine. I mean, side one of this, right, opens up with Rusty Cage, followed by Outshine, Slaves and Bulldozers, Jesus Christ Pose. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. That's a killer first 4 songs on this record. Yeah, I got this in like 92. I remember seeing the video for Rusty Cage on Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah, that's
you remember
right.
that? They're like in the woods and they go to like the shack and the guys are in there playing and it was odd. I'm like, dude, this song rules. I had the tape. I think you have the tape now, though.
Yes.
Corey has all my tapes. I hate
Thanks,
tapes.
John. John sent me a big box of cassette tapes. A lot of it was 90s. Yeah, no, absolutely. That thing, I mean, Bad Motorfinger, I mean, but that's one of the ones I would say you would put up there with like timeless. You can play that at any time. If you play that for somebody that's 15 or 16 years old today, they're going to love it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of
right. It just doesn't sound like a dated record. The kind of music that they play and it's interesting enough. It doesn't sound like a product of its time. It just doesn't.
It
right.
doesn't.
I think Terry Date recorded this one too. Everybody knows Terry Date, famous metal producer, most known now, especially for Pantera. But he did Soundgarden's first two records. First two major label records, in the Louder Than Love, and then this one.
We'll probably show a couple from Terry Date if we haven't already.
And he's got a pretty killer resume from '91.
Absolutely.
He was a busy man.
He's a busy guy.
Anyways, love this. Do you have the reissue, Corey? Did you pull this?
Yep.
Show that.
I don't know how it's going to come out with the lenticular cover. As far as the
It looks sweet. See,
it's killer.
I used to not like that one, but after living with it for a couple of years when it first came out, I love the reissue cover better than this. I mean, this is cool, but man, that's such a sharp looking cover.
It does. It's a great reissue.
It really is. It sounds great. Anyone who likes them and want to know which pressing to get, don't get an original because it's like $200.
Exactly. So yeah,
Right.
You can't talk about 1991 and hard rock without talking about Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion, right? This one, this is an original, and then 2 is the reissue. They sound very, very close. Great sounding. The reissue sounds great. The original pressing sounds great. My story is my parents wouldn't let me out of the house that night for a midnight release. Midnight releases came out on Thursday night, so that was a school night. But my friend went. I couldn't afford both albums, and neither could he. So
That's
I bought the 2 on CD, and he bought 1 on CD. And then my other buddy got one, whatever, he like a tape and a record combo or whatever. But we love these albums. We were already getting a taste of it on the radio, I think. And then the movie Terminator 2 had come out that year.
Yeah.
That was a
92
summer
or 91?
blockbuster hit. I think this should be 91, right? I don't know.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
This should have been a blockbuster hit that same summer. So You Could Be Mine was playing on there. Did it come out the next year? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But I do have the little cassette single and the little paper sleeve,
Killer.
right? And then
I always actually
original
preferred
tapes.
Use Your Illusion 2 of
Me too.
these records. I mean, I like 1, but 2 has Civil War, their cover of Knocking on Heaven's Door, So Fine, Don't Cry, Estranged, Pretty Tight. I mean, yeah, I think this is overall front to back the better record. What the heck happened to my Use Your Illusion 1? Anyways, yeah, great show.
Yeah, I know those albums backwards and forwards. I'll revisit them from time to time. I got ridiculed on one of my early YouTube videos for wearing a Use Your Illusion 2 t-shirt.
Who ridiculed you?
Somebody in the comment section dissed my t-shirt, and it was like, yeah, this guy with the Use Your Illusion shirt on. I don't know what it was about. I thought it was funny, but
they probably not around anymore. Whoever this person was.
Yeah, it was nobody.
Give me a break.
Yeah, if you got to have thick skin on the internet, or the internet's not for you, right? Whatever the comment is, it's still up. I mean, whatever.
Was it one of your early videos?
It's pretty old. It's one of the older ones. I have no idea where. It's my 10th year anniversary this month in the vinyl community.
Wow, that's 2011, right?
10 years to the month. November 2011 is when I first started making videos.
I guess this would be my 5th year.
Nice.
Since I first started making 2016.
I'm thinking about doing an anniversary video. I don't know. But like Alice Cooper, man, Hey Stupid came out. This was kind of cool because Slash did an appearance on here.
Yeah. He works with a bunch of different guys on this one, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe Ozzy too. Yeah, a couple different guys, maybe Duff. But Slash was a busy guy. Usually there's 1 and 2, and then plus this Hey Stupid came out. And then Alice Cooper did came in for a guest appearance on one of the songs on Use Your Illusion 1, right? The Garden.
Oh, that's
Garden
right.
of Eden or Garden.
Yeah.
The Garden.
Yeah, I've always liked Alice Cooper.
Absolutely.
Of course, my dad turned me on to him, so I've always liked him since then. I've met him a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, at the Promise Keeper thing.
Okay.
My buddy Tim, back in the day, his dad started it along with Bill McCartney, the old CU Buffs football coach back in the day. And so Tim and I went to the same school. So that's kind of how I knew him.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea that he was like, at that time, that he was like this mellow, he was like putting like golf balls into like a glass, like with this little like makeshift green that he brought. And he's just putting in there. Like, are you kidding me? This is what the guy does? Like in the box that we were sitting at listening to the thing. So very nice.
I have a Cream magazine.
He's little
from the 70s, and maybe from the 70s over here in the stack, and it has a really cool interview with them. But yeah, I got some let's see, another movie soundtrack and some thrash to show next. What do you got?
Is it my turn?
Let's get crazy with some Slash. Or I should Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 and Hey Stupid.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. All right. Here is one. Love this record. This was kind of my introduction to maybe Portishead, but to trip hop.
Nice.
Yep, I love this record. I think I got the tape or maybe probably the CD back in like 94, 95. But yeah, this was one of those records where it's not traditional, right? It's not metal. It's not really rock, right? But it's still sounds heavy, maybe with just lyrical content. It's very trippy, obviously trip hop. But yeah, this kind of opened up a whole new world, a whole left field of all these great bands and artists. Are like, wow, I like all this stuff.
And
right.
What was wild is getting into one of your buddy's cars and you start going through their Case Logic and they have all these CDs, right? All this rock, metal, and then all of a sudden there's Massive Attack.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was.
It was pretty wild times.
I feel like everybody had a friend who liked the same stuff, but then they also went deeper. I had a couple of friends who did that. Thank God for them. I wouldn't be sitting here talking about Massive Attack.
I think I might do some rapid fire cassettes.
Rapid fire that. I've got two more to show.
Rapid fire.
More if you want.
White Cross, Christian metal, really good, great melodies, great songwriting, interesting vocals, just feel good metal right here. I mean, just good hard rock, late 80s, early 90s hard rock with White Cross. Metal Massacre 11 came out in 91. I'm not familiar with a lot of the artists on there.
It was already 11 by that time. That's crazy.
And then I got, this one's pretty cool. This one's got some street cred, right? Fugazi.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Ian McKay from.
I never know which way's up on this cover.
Minor Threat. Were you into them back in the day?
No, that was a later discovery. I wish I was that cool. I was not. But
I always actually liked Fugazi more than Minor Threat. Minor Threat was okay, but I thought the musicianship was a lot better for one. And the songs were catchier. It was still punk, but yeah, I always liked Fugazi. Yeah, like you, I didn't know anything about him in 1991.
No, I wish that stuff made it this far. I say
Right.
this far, but in Ohio, in the Midwest Ohio, in the suburbs, it took things a little bit longer to get to me.
Yeah.
I was just happy if it had the same release date. I guess by
Same with me,
91.
man. I mean, we're a flyover state. Denver at that time was small. It was a flyover state.
Right.
So we wouldn't hear any of this.
This
till
one's
later.
This one's pretty bad. So this is Rigor Mortis versus
Yes,
the Earth.
man.
Killer thrash. I wish I had
really
this on
like
wax.
Rigor Mortis. They're super influential.
So the cassette. So we got some tapes we're showing on here tonight. Rigor Mortis, just brutal, unrelenting.
Little note about
thrash.
That's that band and that particular tape there. It's one of Phil Anselmo's favorite metal.
Really?
Yeah, he loves Rigor
Nice.
Mortis. If you listen to them, they kind of have a little bit of a groove at times. Right, they're definitely a thrash metal band, but I can see, and especially with some of the songwriting, I can see, why Phil would like them. The production's not the best, but you're right, just a killer metal band. Kind of jealous you have that. Yes, was that their debut?
I don't think so, but close. Is it probably their second one, War Master? But this has a lot of thrash elements, I think. A lot of riffs where they kind of like
10 times faster.
they take a little break here and there they slow the riff down and then they just go back into some brutal drumming, death metal, death vocals, grindcore.
I always thought Bolt Thrower did a good job. They'd be, balls to the wall, grindcore, super fast tempos, and then they would have like a segue, almost like a breakdown of like a groove.
Yes.
And then, however they do it. Napalm Death did that a lot too. Yes,
Bill and Ted
Bogus
came out. So
did I send you that, or did you have that?
This was yours.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was yours. The first movie didn't have as good of a soundtrack, but the second one is more notorious for having some rock and metal on it, like Megadeth. I think Go to Hell is on this.
Is it on there?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm gonna have to revisit
Faith
that.
No More, The Perfect Crime. I think that was on one of their albums, but Megadeth Go to Hell is on here because that's what the movie was going to originally be called, was Go to Hell.
That's right.
So Dave regrets doing that.
He does, huh? Interesting.
Yeah. At one point in one interview.
Probably
Fates
made
Warning
good money on
Parallels.
that.
Did you pick up the reissue on vinyl of this? I'm so upset I do not have this on vinyl because this is killer. I mean, it's probably not their best album, but maybe their second best, Parallels.
I can't remember.
This is
I have a couple phases. I don't have that one. I have Perfect Symmetry, which is the record I think before that.
But this, I just listened to this the other night.
Times at like Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
And I always passed on it. And
Metal
now,
Blade, right?
Yeah. I was like, man, what? I should have grabbed it.
I don't know why I keep passing on it, but anyway, yeah, Fates Warning, get a little bit more progressive.
Yeah, my next door neighbor's older brother, who was in the military, when he would come home, he loved Fates Warning. Loved it. I thought it was all right back then. I came to appreciate them much more the older I got, but I wasn't really into prog stuff, honestly, back in 1991. But I love them now. They're a great band. I think they're underrated.
Anytime songs were extended, I was into it. I'm a metalhead, a metal guy, hard rock guy. Anytime the songs were longer, I appreciated. I was like, hey, this song has not ended yet. This song has transitions. It has different timing changes, different tempos. What's going on? Like Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. You had, Fates.
I love that record. I didn't feel like they were like super off in their own world, right?
Yeah, I liked Yes, and I like some. Little Giant or not Little Giant. I'm going back too far into
some might be giants.
Gentle Giant.
They might be giant or Gentle Giant. That's yeah.
They might be giants. Now that's what alternative rock. Can you see? Okay.
Yeah.
Where's your glasses, Grandpa? Oh wait, I'm the grandpa.
Who is that?
So Badlands Voodoo Highway with the hype sticker.
You have the tape. Love Badlands.
Still looking for the record. Just listen to this.
Good luck.
You know what I read? Yeah, right. We'll never see that. What I realized was this is a great produced album. Like we love the songs, we love Badlands, right? But what I noticed was this could be swapped with albums or in line with albums that have released from maybe 2010 to 2020, like Winery Dogs, maybe some Alter Bridge. I'm not kidding.
You're right.
Because it's not recorded as wet, right? It's a little more dry, a little more authentic.
It's a little more in your face.
Fantastic bass guitar, fantastic mix, great songwriting. I mean, this could have came out in 2010.
Agreed. I never thought about that, but you're right. That was just a badass hard rock band.
Yes.
Honestly.
All right. That was all my tapes. No more tapes, guys.
All right, hang on. I forgot to pull one, but I have to show this. So give me a minute.
You want me to stall for you? I can stall. I mentioned Queensryche, right? So while you're looking for that, I will show Operation Live Crime. This is the cassette and VHS tape, which is, you can't hear me, but I've been trying to buy some time because I'm showing the Operation Live Crime. I'm showing Operation Live Crime while you were trying to dig that up.
There you go. I just saw that the other day. I can't remember. Oh, I saw it at...
There's the VHS tape.
My buddy, to ask him about those parts to Electric City. He wasn't there, so... He still hasn't gotten back to me. I sent him a text.
Find anything out.
He's usually pretty good about that. I know he's busy, but
what'd you dig up?
All right, here we go. You already mentioned this once, but here's the Pixies, Trompe Le Monde. Yes. This is my favorite Pixies record.
Great rock album.
Yeah, I think I had heard of them back in 91, but I didn't get this. I think I got it like 95, 94, 95. But the Pixies, they're one of those bands, right, that got known at the turn of the decade there because of the success that Nirvana had. Even though these guys have been making records kind of like college rock, right? They get airplay on college rock. But then with Nirvana and any of these bands are like name dropping these bands that they were influenced by. And it's like, oh, let's go check out the Pixies. That's why I did later on. It's like, oh, I wonder what's all the hoopla about these guys. And I was like, man, this is great. I would have loved this back then.
Great layering, guitar layers.
Yep.
Great melodies,
really
great distortion. Yeah.
Super funny. Black
Francis mixing the sense of humor, not taking themselves too seriously. Yeah. That's a good element.
This is the reissue that just came out, the 30-year the green vinyl, I think. I haven't listened to this one yet. I have an original, but
Nice.
it didn't sound very good. So I'm assuming this one sounds much better. Kind of a weird cover with the eyeballs.
It's very odd. Those look like cow eyes.
Yeah.
It reminds, since we're talking about 1991, that kind of reminds me of like dissecting, right? Your freshman year,
like a
like
frog.
you get that, you have like the heart. We had like a cow heart, cow eye, frogs, right? Worms. And I remember all of that.
Like that didn't bother me, like dissecting, like, you know,
That didn't bother me.
animals.
I did what
What
I
I
had to
couldn't
do.
handle in those was the smell of the formaldehyde.
Yeah.
It's just like made me want to vomit every time.
That smell was always kind of there lingering in the science room.
And then you'd go in the next day if you had a different like class. Like I had 2 classes in this particular one where we had the science class or biology, and you could still smell it. Like
Yes.
you'd go into another class like 2 days later and you can smell I can smell it now and it's disgusting.
All right, I'm gonna do some rapid fire CDs and get your comments on this. Freak Show, Bullet Boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's us on camera. Sorry about the glare, but yeah, Freak Show, heavy hard rock, a little bit sleaze in there. Great album. The Bullet Boys are always so much more than Smooth Up in You. I'll show the record to this in just a minute, but this is Deliverance's What a Joke, the reissue with the little take on Adult Swim's Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I love that cartoon. Fry,
or maybe
Shake,
Aqua Teen Hunger Force took it from them, right? Were they around? They weren't around back then.
This reissue was more recent. It's totally this was reissued in 2011.
Was that not the cover back then?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I'll show you in a second. And Voivod.
Voivod.
I'm trying to say Voivod because Metal T says Voivod. I usually say Voivod. But this is all talk about like Fate's Warning. You get a little more progressive metal.
Yeah.
Man. This album, Angel Rat, is killer.
They got more progressive the further along they went. In the beginning, I always kind of looked at them as kind of like a metal church. Like they're not all really full thrash. They're not traditional heavy metal. They're somewhere in the middle. And then they just kept going on and on. Is that this month's?
No, it's a little older. But what I did want to show you, this was really unlikely. So I got the Prague Magazine. I don't know when this is. It's a collect volume 2, something or other. So I don't know what the date is on it. But I'm reading along, and here's a nice little piece on Voivod.
Oh, wow. I'd love to read that. Did you get that in a store? Did you order it?
Fate's Warning.
It came with that?
No, that's from my Fate's Warning reissue. Sorry. I was using that as a bookmark. No, I picked this up at like Barnes & Noble or something.
Yeah. It's like the only place you can go other than the internet to buy these different music magazines.
Gotta have my music mags. All right, one more CD.
Do it.
This is Hermetica. This was JC in Miami, is a follower of the vinyl community. Great guy. He's got a fantastic record collection, but he said, Corey, you got to check out this Argentina metal band, Hermetica. And I got a couple of their albums, and I wish I could get this on vinyl. But you should be able to actually pick these up. I ordered this from Argentina. It took forever to ship last year with everything going on. And then I think it's more available in the States here pretty cheap. So, but you never know if you're going to be able to get a hold of that or not. The vocals are not in English, but it's just killer thrash. Don't sleep on it. All right, what do you got, my friend?
Love it. All right, me. I guess I'll show this one now. I gotta censor it, right, so we don't get in trouble. So here we go, 1991, censored.
I think everybody's seen that. We had to censor that.
Yeah, that's true.
This video is not for children.
Yes, not for children. But yeah, Nirvana Nevermind. I mean, what can I say about that? I think this record in particular, even though it's not my favorite now, this one kind of opened up the whole new world that I wanted to seek out other styles of music because of this record. I remember when it first came out in 91, we always rode dirt bikes. There was a bunch of dirt bike trails around the home that when I lived at, my parents. And so we were in my buddy's garage working on his dirt bike. And he's like, oh, hey man, check out this tape. And you put the tape in his little like boombox thing, press play. And then of course, Smells Like Teen Spirit's the first thing. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw a video. I thought about this is unreal. It just, from that day on, I was like, okay, I don't just like metal and, the classic stuff. Like I got to seek other stuff out. And I just went down the rabbit hole. And that's when, I discovered, of course, like the Melvins and Mudhoney and all these other great bands that weren't mainstream, right? But they were doing the same thing, kind of. They just weren't mainstream for whatever reason.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, what can I say about that? About this record? It's phenomenal.
So were you going to show? Oh shoot! I'll wait for
What's
that
that?
one. I'm going to see if you're going to show it first.
I got two more.
Okay, I'm going to wait. Let's see.
You
All right.
go
I
ahead, John.
don't
I'm
think
gonna
you're
grab this
showing.
other one.
I don't think you're showing this one.
Hold on.
Are you not prepared?
Dude, I keep forgetting.
You can't hear me right now, right? I can say anything I want right now, and you will not hear me.
Come on, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I could hear you.
Oh, good thing I didn't like.
Sorry, everybody. I just keep forgetting to pull certain records that I had left from last time.
No,
All right.
I hope you do pull some. Okay, so Slave to the Grind, killer record. I love.
Is that the original?
Yeah, original. That's right. They did reissue this. The
original
Pop is sealed.
Issue's great.
But this thing is heavy. I liked it. Skid Row's debut was mopping the floor with a lot of hard rock albums that were in '88. I loved
this record is
I
phenomenal.
was in head over heels. I was like, it was blowing everything away.
Yep.
And then this is just, they had the production. They could do what they wanted. The record label wasn't giving them any problems.
The songs were much better.
Artwork.
Yep.
I mean, fantastic songs on here. Now that I think this one does not have the, this is the US, so it doesn't have the different songs on it, Mofo, whatever. But
right.
Killer album. Love this album. Like,
agreed. Thanks for picking that one up on Record Store Day for me a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Last year?
Was that last year? I guess it would have been.
I don't know. Time was all screwed up.
It's a great reissue.
Dude, I got tons of stuff to show. What else you got?
I got two more. I definitely have to wrap up. I think Kat is wondering where I am.
Done.
So I'll show two more. Oh, this one, I'll save that one. So here's another great 91 record.
Yes.
Seattle, Temple of the Dog, right? It says basically Chris Cornell, Matt Cameron from Soundgarden with Stone, Jeff, Mike McCready, and Eddie. Basically Pearl Jam minus the drummer. I guess what's his name? Matt Cameron is the Pearl Jam drummer today. Back then, right? He was Soundgarden's drummer. Yeah, I mean, I just remember seeing the video for Hunger Strike. Probably not in 91, because I don't think this record really did much in 91. But then after the success of 10,
right,
Nevermind and like Bad Motorfinger and then Allison Chains, this one, I think they did, the record label reissued this on A&M. And it's like, okay. And then people pick it up like, oh, it's Chris Cornell. Oh, the Pearl Jam guys are on this, right? So this was kind of the first, grunge super group, right? Where you have a bunch of guys from different bands from that era that they all come together and work, releasing a record. So I always thought that was cool. But this is a great album. I love this album front to back.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad they reissued that. Everybody was hunting it down, the original. And what's your last?
What's your last one? Original. But
let me show your last one. And I'll try and get as many as I can in before you have to go.
Okay. All right. Here's my last one. I'm sure you were going to show us at one point, but I mean, come on, Metallica. It's the Black Album. I already talked about waiting in line to get the tape back in the day. And I know I've mentioned this before in some of our other videos, but my introduction to Metallica was And Justice for All, 1988. And then, loved that record. And then this came out. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere, right? Without hearing a song of usually Enter Sandman. But I just remember, it just brings back so many memories, like in the summertime, coming home from, if I was working or whatever I was doing, and then flip on the TV. My parents are at work. I'm watching, Sad But True or Enter Sandman video, and then Wherever I May Roam video, where they like show the stadium, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like tour shots of them on that particular tour. But this would have been the second real concert that I went to. Clash of the Titans was the first. I went to this, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, that huge
Epic
tour
concerts.
they did.
Epic.
I think I saw them in 92 is when they hit Colorado, but at McNichols, and it was spectacular. I mean, it's kind of legend what happened at that show because I think it happened at a lot of other venues across the country, but Metallica blew Guns N' Roses off the stage, right? And Guns was the bigger band at that time. And people were like chanting Metallica after they finished. And I guess Axl would get pissed and he wouldn't come out. A couple times he left, I guess the story has it, because we were all waiting. I remember sitting there forever. I'm like, is Guns going to play? I saw Slash and I think I saw, Izzy, maybe Duff, but what's going on? Where's Axl? And then finally he got there, but I guess he left and his bodyguard like tracked him down. Like somehow I don't know if he had a car. He somehow got on the highway. Axl did. I don't know if he was like a personal assistant, his bodyguard basically tracked him down. I was like, dude, get back to the stadium.
Wow. Before you had a riot.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a huge riot. And he could have, I mean, nothing did happen, at least that I know of.
That night.
But yeah, it could have been bad. But anyways.
Yeah. Killer album, midnight release, all of that, right? Loved it. The Sad But True, hearing that for the first time, the fantastic drum sound.
It's kind of a polarizing record, right? Sorry. Anyways. Ooh, yes. Great one.
Thrash masterpiece. And then I have the reissue. One of the reissues is from the Roadrunner box, and then the other one is the other reissue.
Oh, yeah, I got the reissue that came out like last year, maybe.
Yeah, it was very recent
as well. Love Sepultura.
Very recent. Okay, let's do some rapid fire here, man.
Do it.
Psychedelic Supper, Tesla, or Psychedelic Supper, Edison's. What is it? Edison's. What's the name of the song? I do remember Changing the Weather. Edison's Medicine. That's what it was. Song and Emotion. What You Give. Tesla.
I always liked Tesla. They got unfairly labeled. Classic.
Is this 90 or 91? This is 91, right?
Yeah.
Psychosurgery. Psychosurgery. This is incredible drumming.
Or is it 88? I don't know.
It's either 90 or 91. I'm thinking it's 91. I hope so. But yeah, this Ted Kirkpatrick, underrated drummer, killer. It may be on color vinyl, but we got to go rapid fire here. Seas of Cheese. Primus. Yes. Incredible. Love this album. It's my favorite Primus album.
Yeah, that one, and My Name Is Mud. It's a toss-up.
My original Pearl Jam. Okay.
Is that the one I cleaned for you?
It is the one you cleaned. It has no skips now.
It's great.
And this album is overlooked. What is going on?
Big
Why
time.
is this one and then
I'm glad Move has reissued that, right? Because a lot of people wouldn't. I think I like that record more than The Dark. And then Blessing in Disguise. Their first one's my favorite still, but this is a great record, man.
I slept on this one too. To be
honest, Vanderhoof didn't tour with him. He wrote almost the music for all these songs, and he played on it, but he just didn't tour. Yeah, that's a great record, man.
And you see Rat Pack Records has issued, if you look at Rat Pack Records, they've got like a 30-page photo book, memorial book for Mike Howe. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if it's
great. Yeah, he passed this year, unfortunately.
Out of Order, Nuclear Assault. I think this is setting the stage for something wicked, which I like the later Nuclear Assault albums. That one's just brutal. And then I brought this Nirvana. This is VCLT from Eli and B Drummer.
That's cool, man.
Kind of commemorating Nirvana's appearance on Saturday Night Live in January 1992. They did Teen Spirit, and then they came back for the second, when they do the second song a little later.
93 or 94.
They do Territorial Pissings, and he trashes the set.
Yeah.
So this is
that's killer, man.
All those January 1992.
All those MTV things on there. Was it MTV and what else? You said it was Saturday Night Live. Is that right? On that?
Saturday Night Live in 95, MTV Music Awards 91, and then Saturday Night Live January 11th, 1992. And I remember watching. I watched Saturday Night Live every Saturday.
I remember seeing him.
I was at my friend Mark's house. We were watching it, and I think I was standing on the bed by the time it was done. Side 2.
Yeah, I remember trying to get my dad to stay up and watch it, and he fell asleep.
Side 2 has some unofficial stuff on it, but
that's cool, man. That's a really cool compilation because you can't really get that anywhere else. Those live shows from that.
No. 1960 Motorhead. Love the cover. This is an original. I don't know if it's been reissued or not. LA Guns, going back to the sleazy, good songwriting, but the 3D cover. If you have the CD, it came with 3D glasses.
That's right.
Then also on one of my favorite all-time movies, Point Break, they had a song "Over the Edge." So I still was enjoying LA Guns at this time. It didn't get a lot of play, and you knew it was kind of over after this. My buddy saw LA Guns open for AC/DC and said they sucked. I don't know. I never got to see them live.
LA Guns was one of those bands that they would release something and then they go away, and then they come back and release something and then they go away.
It's like come on, Tracy Guns.
They like doom themselves. Right.
I know you don't care for this album. I love it. This is awesome, especially I think either All Aside 1 or All Aside 2. Some great songwriting on here. 316, a tribute to Wolfgang. Great, great little instrumental on there, but most people are familiar with this.
I don't dislike that album, I guess, anymore. I didn't like it back then. I hated that Right Now video.
Right. It was the faux political.
Yeah, it drove me nuts. But it's for what it is. It's definitely good. It's not great. I never really liked Hagar as the frontman for them.
Vicious Rumors, good hard rock. I mean, it's not as thrash as much, but love this album. Love this album artwork. It's the same. This is Don Browningham, same guy that did the artwork for Anthrax, and he did Master of Puppets.
Really? Oh yeah. Okay.
As you go into the 90s, people start to do their own artwork, and it just looks terrible. But yeah, Vicious Rumors, man. And then here's I pulled one of those cards like you were saying. This is one. This is that come with it? No, this is a bookmark I bought to bookmark this until I got the original.
You should frame that. That's a cool card. I love that cover.
Really quick, let's keep on the
do it.
White Lion main attraction. They redid. I thought it was kind of weird. They redid a song from one of their first albums on here. It's like, why would you do that? Which one was it? Broken Heart. Broken Heart was on like one of their first or second albums, and they stuck it on here. That's confusing.
Interesting.
But this is a good tape to listen to when I was with my girlfriend at the time, wife now. You know, you still get.
So you were dating Audrey back then, huh?
Not in 91. This is a little later. So I didn't know her yet, but we were still definitely listening to this in 93. I started hanging out, dating her in 93. Caius Wretch. This is a reissue.
I forgot about that one.
I was not hip to Caius until much later in the 90s.
Yeah, I got hip to Caius with Sky Valley in 94. And then I went back and got that. And then Blues for the Red Sun.
Yes.
It's a great record.
Kicks. This is original Hotwire. I don't think it's been reissued yet.
I don't know. I was never a big Kicks fan.
I love Kicks, man. Hard rock. I think I know they get lumped in with the glam metal, but this album was probably a little weaker. But on Man Cave of Doom, Greeno, George, those guys are fans of Kicks because they have the Kicks factor. They call it like the X factor, the Kicks factor that just gives them some kind of edge that makes them enjoyable and more authentic and legitimate when compared to some of the other hard rock. I like Kicks.
Right.
Switching. Oh, there's my STP reissue.
STP.
Or I'm sorry, not STP.
Oh, Temple of the
Dog.
Is that the one that came out like a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's just the recent one.
I
think it's even on black. Did you forget about this? Faith No More Live, Brixton Academy.
I did.
They did War. This is how you get War Pigs without getting because it was on.
That's right, because it's not on the record. It's on the CD.
Right.
The real thing.
Right. Zombie Eaters, Edge of the World. So
where did you get that? Is that a bootleg or is that a real?
This is a European pressing original. I don't know. I got it like eight or 10 years ago.
I need to find that.
Can you hear the tires squealing? Chicago 21. Hey, we got all genres on here, man.
It's true.
I said this is on the mixtape, man, for the girlfriend.
Hey, man. Once Peter Cetera took over lead vocals.
He was gone after this. Peter Cetera was gone 3 albums before this.
Was he? So he wasn't on that album.
No.
Who was there? I mean,
Chaplin, Chaplin, right?
Billy Chaplin. To me, I prefer Terry Kath, who was like the lead singer and main guy. But then he
the main
accidentally killed himself with a gun. He was playing Russian roulette, goofing around, and he literally blew his head off.
That sounds horrible. So Eric Clapton live, 24 nights. This is a radio syndicated show. It's really hard to get for a long time. This is an official reissue, but this is really cool. Eric Clapton did one night with just a 4-piece, and then he did like blues And then he did a 9-piece, and he finished with the orchestra with Michael Kamen.
Oh,
And
wow.
you might be familiar with, I know you know, Edge of Darkness,
Yeah.
where Eric Clapton plays with the symphony. Really good original. My wife dug this out when I was digging for records in Philadelphia.
So was that released in 91, like the tape version of that or a CD? Just
No,
like
vinyl.
that?
This is original vinyl.
Oh, that's
91.
the original. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta track
And
that
tape
down.
and CD. Yeah, definitely. I highly recommend that one. Dangerous. Original. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I showed that already. The Russian. There's my original Black album.
You know what I mean? Where's your hype sticker? Is yours on the bottom?
It's just
there?
loose. It was cut out.
Yeah, mine's in the middle.
This is going for unreal money right now, right? Like $1,000.
Yeah, I got another one of these at a record show a couple of years ago, and I paid $50 for it because the guy was like, "Yeah, it's kind of scratched." I took it home, ran it through my deep cleaner.
It's fine.
Perfect. I sold it for $250
Nice.
within like 24 hours.
Oh yeah, it's
Classic.
a hot ticket item. Yeah, No More Tears. This is the reissue. Have you played it yet? I have not listened to this yet.
Not the reissue. It's in my play thing. I have all these stacks. This thing keeps getting bigger. My just inbox is like I gotta quit adding
well,
stuff.
You got a new baby kind of, and but this is my original with the hype sticker still on the screen. Love this album. Reminds me of 1991. This
me too.
Instantly takes me back there. So here's the Deliverance original cover.
Oh yeah, what a joke.
Great
You showed
thrash.
that at the beginning.
I highly recommend this. So that was before we hit the record button.
Yeah.
But just a couple more and then let's sign off. Remember I said I bought a
I
Sonny
knew I
Discman
was forgetting something.
at Service Merchandise. Well, I bought U2 Octoon Baby and listened to it on my way home. Didn't know what to think.
That was the CD you bought.
This is the CD I bought.
Wow.
Zoo Station was the first song.
Yeah.
It was kind of like what I had to adjust. But once I kind of got into the mood, really ended up loving this album and still can listen to it when I'm in the right mood now.
That album, I think, gets better with every listen, to be honest with you.
It's an incredible album.
Is that the reissue that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
That's a great sounding one.
I sold the original once I got the reissue. I didn't need the original
I did
anymore.
too.
All right. Oh, I got to show this one before we go. I just have two more and we can sign off. Are you still good on time?
I've got like a couple minutes. Yeah, keep going. Oh yeah, we were talking about them.
Anna Cruz.
Where did you find that?
I just ordered it online.
Like from them, or was it like on Amazon or Discogs, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I forget. I don't know. I ordered it online. It showed up in time for this video. I was so happy. This is like in the vein of Fate's Warning, a little more progressive.
Right.
Voivod, maybe not as edgy as Voivod, but definitely great. I highly recommend this. I bet Scott Waters has a write-up on him. I bet we can pull that up.
Probably does, yeah.
And then the last one I've got.
Overkill. Love it. Forgot about
Last
that
but not
one, too.
least, Horoscope, killer thrash, great production.
Yep.
Can't wait till the box set, Overkill box set comes out.
Is it coming out? Has it been announced?
It has been announced. Pre-orders are available now.
By the way, I think I sent you a link. Did you see that Skid Row? They're doing
Yes.
the Atlantic Years box set, but it has whatchamacallit in it.
You sent me those. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if I paid you for it or not, but.
No, we actually went back. We left Twist and Shout, and you're like, man.
Oh, I bought this.
I couldn't find Dark Angel. I'm like, dude, they have that there. So we went back in and I pulled it out. I'm like, dude, right here.
That's
the reissues for all the Dark Angels are great. They did a great job. I like them a lot.
I'm out of breath. Driving and
One more?
Crying.
Yeah.
7-inch. They did Build a Fire and Fly Me Courageous. Really good band. I like Driving and Crying. Ugly Kid Joe. Everything. I Hate Everything About You.
Yeah.
I hate
have that
everything
too.
about you. Live and Let Die. Go ahead, find it.
Keep showing. No.
Mama, I'm Coming Home. The single came out. All right, now I'm finally showed it all. Collector's Guide to Heavy Metal, the 90s.
Yep. Here is one I forgot that we definitely had that I forgot to get out, but
Not a breath.
91 record, Tom Petty.
Take Us Out. Yes.
Into the Great Wide Open.
There you go.
This is actually my dad's copy from back in the day.
That's awesome.
But I think I sent the tape probably to you. I think I have the CD
Yep, I
somewhere.
got some
But
Petty
anyways, I
tapes
mean,
from
this is a great record. It's the second. I think it was the second and final produced record by Jeff Lynne from ELO. But I mean, with Learning to Fly, King's Highway, Into the Great Wide Open. I mean,
great songs.
You Were Built to Last. Yeah.
American
Legendary. I've always loved this cover too. Petty always had good covers, man.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Great album. And then you were saying something about the production, the in the studio. You say that is this one of the first times they were doing like guitar
Well, it
layers
was
or re-recording the same guitar parts to give it a bigger sound? What were you saying?
yeah. So what they did, he didn't. Jeff Lynne, right? He started with Full Moon Fever with Petty's solo
I love that
album, even though the
right.
Heartbreakers play on it.
Pretty much all Heartbreakers.
Would record like a guitar part, right? And then lay me down a drum thing. And then he would piece it all together, right? So you're not playing it live. Sounds like you are, but he made them record all these individual parts. So it took forever. And then he would overdub them. And then he would piece it together, you know, with if there's mistakes, you know, he can delete those or keep that out, cut that out of the tape.
Okay.
But that's kind of what he was known for. And I mean, it worked for 2 records. I mean, Full Moon Fever got to be his best-selling record, and then of course Into the Great Wide Open's got to be one of his top 5 best-selling records. So it worked, but I can't imagine recording a record that way. Even when I been in a studio laying tracks down, just record a part and then this part, and then you piece it together. I mean, it's crazy, but that's how Jeff Lynne worked.
And that's how
with George Harrison too. So
and now you have Pro Tools.
Right.
They could do it.
Pro Tools didn't exist then. But
all right,
that's
man,
all.
Awesome. You want to let me take us out, and then you take us out, and then we'll sign off, right? So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below on some of your favorites or some of the ones you hate. Maybe some of the ones that we missed. Do you have Wrathchild America 3D? Don't think we missed a whole lot from this year as far as rock and metal goes, but I'm sure we may have missed one. So go ahead and put a comment below. Again, thanks for watching the whole video. Hope you came over to John's channel from my channel, where you should be. If you're watching right now, you should be over at the record rack finishing up this video. So, John, you want to sign us off? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Thanks for doing this with me, Corey. Like I said, we've been talking about this for a long time, most of 2021. Like just kind of saying we should do something. It's a great year. It's one of the best years, in my opinion. And you know, recorded music for releases, different stuff too. So yeah, but thanks for doing it. Thanks for taking it serious. I mean, you dug deep for some stuff.
I did.
So it's really cool to see some of that stuff that I forgot about. Right? It's like, oh yeah, that was 91. Kind of strange. There was a lot more 91 records that I have that I didn't even pull, that I didn't realize were from 91. So, but yeah, thanks. Yeah, first part's on your channel. Click the link and you can watch the conclusion on mine. But it's the same thing. We just wanted to break it up so you don't have to sit and watch an hour and a half video, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the idea for doing this. I really enjoyed getting in, because you motivated me to dig in. I bought a couple records just because of talking about this, which is great. I get to dig back into these books that sit on my shelf and collect dust. And so now I've like refreshed on a lot of this. I learned a lot. And you know what? Hey, why don't we get into 1992 next? And maybe
we will.
And maybe pull it together in January or late. Maybe we pull it together this winter, you know, around the holidays.
Yeah, we got like 6 weeks till 2021.
Right. Maybe we take a look at 92. But you know, I like it. Eddie Trunk doesn't like anniversaries. I'm all about anniversaries. I like to look back in the past. I appreciate anniversaries, milestones, 10 year, 15, 25, and I try and play all the records that I can when they hit a milestone or when an artist passes away. I try and listen to those albums again. I don't know about you.
Yeah, outside of jazz this year, I've pretty much I've listened to just records from 1991, kind of with that thought, like paying tribute to it. It's like, man, these are such great records. Some I hadn't listened to in a very, very long time. And yeah, it was just fun to go through. We're kind of not relive it, but I guess you kind of relive it in your mind a little bit.
We did. I mean, we inevitably shared high school stories, so we relived it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this was our music, right?
Right.
This was our 60s. This 1969, right, for us. And it was anyone who there was, like I said, there's hip hop, metal, thrash, traditional metal, grunge, or alt rock, pop, dance pop, Michael Jackson. There's something for everybody. I feel like in 1991, right? For these different styles, right? Which ended up being mashed together later on. But yeah, thanks again, Corey. Thanks for doing this with me. And yeah, we have to do 92. We have to. Seriously, I'm down for that.